Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, on this episode of Bullet Points on this beautiful Sunday morning, we have got to talk about something that's coming out of New York and Maryland. Now, this happened 2 or 3 days ago, but I want to bring it to your attention because it's completely disproving all these gun control arguments that we've heard, like usual, but this is a little bit different. I'm sure you've heard of the Iron Pipeline before. Basically, the concept is Chicago, New York, they blame the surrounding states of freedom for the idea that their utopian gun control laws are not working. It's coming from the Iron Pipeline. It's from those pesky states down south that still reserve freedom. But now criminals are moving to the point where they're disproving that. There's now a Polymer Pipeline. I cannot wait to share this with you guys. It's going to be linked in the description box below. I'm going to say a quick read from our sponsor who made this possible, and we're going to hit it on the other side. I cannot wait to show you these 2 articles. They prove our point perfectly. Now, our sponsor, Armed American Supply, is a small, family-run business owned by a retired law enforcement officer and his wife. They design, print, and ship everything in-house from their shop in southern New Jersey. They have a deal right now for my viewers for 30% off site-wide. If you're the type who loves quality Second Amendment and blue-collar apparel, use code 30OFF at the link provided in the description below to get your piece of that action. All right, so now, let's get this because I cannot wait to share this with you guys because it obliterates this point. All right, I'm going to show you 2 things here, and this is from Everytown for Gun Safety, your premier source for anything gun control. All right, so Maryland is ranked number 7 out of 50, because there's 50 states. We know that. And here's New York, 3. So you've got the number 3 and the number 7 spot, respectively. Now, you would think in all of these extreme gun control zones, there would be no gun problems. However, there are, of course. But check this out. Now, we've got this story. This is one of 2. Check this out. Again, everything linked. Largest, quote, ghost gun bust in New York history nets 336 counts against Maryland man. Prosecutors allege this guy traveled from Maryland to New York City to sell build-your-own kits to an undercover buyer. Now, this came out 2 or 3 days ago, but the big point here is it's coming from a gun control state into another gun control state. This is 2 ways this is not possible because criminals are going to criminal. Let's keep going. Check this out. A Maryland man is facing hundreds of weapons charges after what New York officials called the largest bust of ghost guns in state's history, parts enough for more than 70 illicit firearms. Now, what they're not saying immediately is this is completely driven by ghost gun activity. By 3D printing activity. Hold on a second. Check this out. Quote, "This is the largest seizure of illegal ghost guns in New York State to date. In addition to the Iron Pipeline, we're now seeing a Polymer Pipeline of illegal, untraceable ghost guns and ghost gun parts from down south," Queens DA Melinda Katz said in a statement. Well, previously, the Iron Pipeline is the highway system that goes from New York all the way down the East Coast, okay? They could say that's the Iron Pipeline. All the guns are coming out from Georgia, Alabama, Kentucky, Tennessee, all the freedom-loving states, South Carolina, North Carolina, all those states. They blame us. They say down south. Well, now they can still say down south, only it's going a little bit more north to another gun control state called Maryland. Just saying, irony. Now, here's the second one, and this is the part where economics kind of takes a play here. Because right now, they're blaming the transport from lower states to higher states. That includes more risk. That includes more travel time. Why would you do that if you were a criminal looking to procure illicit materials? Okay? So here, quote, "Ghost guns were made with 3D printed parts," NYPD says. 3D printed parts, but I thought it was the Iron Pipeline. Let's keep going. Police arrested a Brooklyn man, that is in New York, who built so-called ghost guns from components that he ordered online and created at home using a 3D printer, the NYPD announced on Wednesday. Now, just, happenstance conversation. The ATF's new rules and the DOJ's new rules around 80% lowers or whatever they're going to release, that wouldn't have had any outcome on this at all. So what's the point? Because the only people that will be impacted on this are legal, law-abiding citizens. Because you're making them at the mercy of the predations of the criminals and the gangbangers. I'm going to keep going. Check this out. Ghost guns and 3D printed guns are almost impossible to trace. That makes the NYPD's job even tougher as it tackles increasing crime and gang violence. So even in this article, they're referencing crime and gang violence who have access to these ghost guns that aren't even being made by a foundry anymore. Now they're being made locally on site in New York City, a place where gun control is the mainline policy. It shouldn't be possible, and yet it is possible because criminals are going to criminal. Every gun control law that they pass only has an impact on those who would abide by it. The people who cannot go into a gun shop and buy a gun legally and wait the 25 days or the 40 days or the whatever days you want to put on it, they don't wait. They literally can just say, where's that printer's house again? Which apartment's he at this week? My whole point is everything here is hitting the law-abiding citizen, not the criminal, because the criminal's behavior is unchanged. The only thing that changes for the criminal is that it requires more money to get illicit goods and illicit things, similar to drugs, similar to anything else that is a vice. It's asinine to the point where the utopian ideals conflict with reality, and they continue to go after the utopian ideals. And that's what I have for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments field below, and I will see you tonight at the 9 p.m. segment. Braden signing out.